Hey guys, so before we proceed into the video, here's a little update for everyone, okay? So this is a disclaimer for any interruption in the internet or the quality of the video of our speakers and on the host side. So if at all the audio is good, go ahead and leave your phone at the side and feel free to listen to the recorded audio chat. So always remember, it's not all about the quality of the video, but more towards the content of the video. So we really hope that you guys have fun and leave a comment below on what you actually learned, or if you would like to share your experience on this particular topic in the comment section below. So have fun, guys.
Do what you're very passionate about, but make sure it reaches out to people. For myself, I want to make a difference. I think the first step is to definitely recognize them. You can go through it as well. Give ourselves the space and the time to grow.
This series is brought to you by the Reset app, an amazing app that equips you to be happy by flexing the positive mindset muscle. So go ahead and download today. Link is in the description below. It's free.
Hi everyone, welcome back to episode 7 of Coffee with Friends. And today we have a very special guest with us, and she is literally my role model for the past few years now. So before we get into that, Coffee with Friends is basically a platform where we invite inspiring individuals who have amazing stories, very powerful stories, and they come on this platform and share it with our viewers to educate, to inspire, to motivate, to transform lives. And again, today we have a very special friend, and this is actually our first time meeting. Yeah, so welcome Archana. Archana, say hi.
Hi, everyone.
All right, so yeah, Archana is okay. We actually haven't really met, but she basically, I don't know how we got connected, but I guess Instagram made it happen lah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I believe it's because we had mutual friends as well, and we know mutual people, and that's how we just started following each other on Instagram. And the reason why she's my role model is because for someone as young as her, as young as Archana, I'm so inspired by seeing everything that she's doing. Like she's graduated and she's working right now, but yet she's doing so much for the community. Like, when I see her stories, I see her posts, I see her videos, I'm just like, I always tell myself, if there is one person that I would really like to be, is Archana. It's definitely you. You have the qualities that I really aspire to be. And I'm so grateful that you agreed to join us today.
No, I'm really grateful. Thank you so much. I think it's so nice to finally meet you and your sister. Both of you, I think, are really amazing individuals that I get inspired from. So thank you so much. I'm really excited to be here.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so just a little bit formal introduction for Archana. So basically, Archana is she graduated from law, and she is a litigation paralegal. She's working at a litigation paralegal at Siongs and Vita, and she's also a digital parliamentarian. Oh, okay, that's quite long. Asian regional representative at the Commonwealth Youth Council. She's also a speaker and a writer. She just recently, together with a few friends, I believe, they launched a book, right? And also, she's a global youth ambassador at Dia World and a global goodwill ambassador of Malaysia. So I believe the viewers can now understand why she's a really big role model to me. She's doing a lot. I really respect her, and I'm so happy, and I'm looking forward to learn so much from you today. So Archana, feel free to share how you want to introduce yourself, and yeah, take the floor.
Thank you so much. I think whatever you said about me is really sweet. I don't think anybody has praised me that much. Thank you so much. But I'm not as great and glorified that people think of me. I'm actually very. I like to sleep a lot. I procrastinate a lot as well. So sometimes I have deadlines coming up, and you see me sleeping rather than doing all my work. And that's one day before my deadline, I'm just sitting and doing all my work non-stop. So, but yeah, I'm from Seremban. So anybody from Seremban, hi. And I've been based in KL for almost a year plus now, working in KL. And yeah, I'm just really happy to be here. Thank you.
Nice, nice, nice. So for our viewers, if you guys want to get in touch with Archana, we'll be sharing her social media links below. Like you can name it whatever social media you want to get in touch with. She has it. Yeah, except Tinder, but but she has time to create one. Yeah, so we'll be sharing all her links in the description below, so you guys can feel free to actually communicate with her because I believe Archana is ever willing to help you guys. All right. Okay. So okay, when we started Coffee with Friends, one of the first few people that actually came to my mind was Archana, with you, because I always wanted to have a conversation with you, but then I guess there wasn't an opportunity for us to really sit down and have a conversation. But thank God for Coffee with Friends. Finally, we can have that conversation. And I've been following what you have been doing for the past, I believe, 4 years. Good, I think 4 years. Yeah,
Wow.
because I think I was still in school when I actually first got to know about you and all that. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Okay, so like I've seen the things that you have done, and then when I was thinking about, okay, what should the title be for this conversation, right? And then we had a conversation, and you mentioned about starting an initiative and wanting to get in touch with your followers, with more people to give back and all that. And then I was like, okay, I know exactly what I want to call this conversation. That's why I came up with the purpose of giving. And I also do believe this is what you said in one of your episodes, where happiness is about giving, and I really like that. So I hope we can get into that as well when we further have our conversation. But I think we should start off okay. So one of the things that Archana does that I'm super impressed is she started this series called Wonders of Wisdom, and you can find it on Facebook and Instagram as well, right? So okay, Archana, what made you start this? Can you share with us?
Um, I'll be very honest. I think I was in school, college. Yeah, I was in college, and I had a lot of friends that I would meet. So almost every day, I would have lunch with someone else. I try to meet new people every day during lunch, and I'll just be asking them questions, literally about life and interesting topics, like spirituality, personality development, stuff like that. So one friend that I came across after speaking to her told me, "Oh, your ideas are quite nice. Why don't you share them with a larger group of people?" And when she said that, I thought she meant that I had to do a event every other week, or start officially making an organization or something. And I didn't have that time. So I thought to myself, well, if I'm going to share with people, how is the best way for me to do that? Is to do it through social media. So Instagram is, I think, a very good platform which reaches out to many people. And I thought that I would take that opportunity to share whatever I experience of life, and what I make of it. It could help people, it could make people feel good, it could make people feel bad, but I just want to make that message reach across to them. So that's where I started Wonders of Wisdom, because I think wisdom as a whole is very important, and that's what we're all here for. We're all here for wisdom at the end. So I named it Wonders of Wisdom because I always wonder, what is wisdom, right? So wisdom is a very broad topic. It's very subjective. So Wonders of Wisdom was mothered in a few years, I think almost a year back. And I haven't been so disciplined, unfortunately, regarding this because of my schedule. I try to at least share whatever I look and analyze through life on social media.
Wow, that's great. I do follow your episodes, and I think one of the things that really catches me is the title of every episode, and I really enjoy because it's very deep. It's very deep.
Right.
It's also very personalized in a sense where it's not just like, okay, I'm having a conversation with you based on facts, based on what I I read and all that, based is what's validated and all that. I like conversations that people share about their experiences, their own personal thoughts and opinions, because then that's a conversation, right? That's a really
Yeah.
really good conversation. And yeah, so when you okay, when you talk about like wonders of wisdom, right? So you started this about like a year ago, right?
Yeah.
And have you seen like how this entire series has impacted your followers, has impacted your viewers? Has anyone like gave their review to you about like how like whatever topic that they listen to has actually like taught them something, has inspired them? Has anyone ever reached out, or have you seen a difference, a shift in your viewers?
I think, yeah, there have been actually a lot of people. I have had people that have approached me
Mm-hmm.
because they have watched my videos and that has helped them through a very tough period. And that really touched me because you never know how a word or a single sentence from your mouth can change someone's lives. So that's what happened. And I had lots of people coming and telling me that the videos have helped them go through a tough time. It has helped them become a better person. I even had a company approach me
Wow.
because they wanted to start like a YouTube series with this whole wonders of wisdom being the
Mm-hmm.
center of it because they saw one of my videos. So
Wow.
yeah, I don't know honestly, but everybody's been so kind to actually listen to me, to understand what I'm trying to say, and I'm just really really thankful that I could help in any way to not even inspire someone, just to perhaps plant this idea into someone's head, because I think we go through life not really observing it and not making sense of it. I try to make sense of it and I try to share it with everyone. So the reviews and the amount of people that have seen my videos, they're amazing, and everyone's been so encouraging. So yeah, it's been a really good journey.
Nice. But then, okay, so this is what your viewers have said. To you
Yeah.
personally, how did you feel like doing Wonders of Wisdom have actually transformed your life? Do you feel like you have grown since the first episode until now?
Yeah, definitely I have. I mean, and the worst thing is, sorry, the best thing is I get to see my own videos when I am feeling down. And so I'm just like telling myself that, hey, it's gonna be okay. But I think with that also comes commitment. Discipline also comes. I'm sure you can relate that sometimes you just don't feel like doing it. You just don't feel like taking that, talking about this specific thing and doing a video about it. But you just have to. You just have to push yourself and end up doing it. So there were times in my life where I just wasn't having a good day. I wasn't feeling up to my form, and I didn't want to share anything that day. But I told myself, you know what? You just have to just push yourself to it. So that's what I started doing. So I became much more disciplined. Uh, Also, I find myself a bit more compassionate about what I speak on social media, because I realized that my videos, I don't really think about it much. I just have an idea that, oh, okay, I want to speak about this. I end up speaking about it. But I didn't know that people actually follow what I'm saying, that it makes a difference. So I started paying more attention to what I say, because I don't want to hurt someone. I don't want to be um, ignorant of a group of people. So I started becoming more careful about that. But as a person, I realized that there's so many things that we take for granted, but you just want to hear someone say it. Like, for example, when you have a bad day, you know life is short, but you want someone to come and tell you, hey, it's going to be all right. You're going to be
Yeah.
fine. Life is short. Make it count. So that's all you need. So that's why I realized that what I'm saying is not something that people don't know. It's just that people need to hear it. That's all.
Wow. You're absolutely right. Even this past few weeks, even I've been realizing that actually whatever we are hearing from other people, right? It's we know about it. We are
Yeah.
familiar about it. It's just that we need someone else to like tell it again to us. to finally make sense, So yeah, I totally get it, like where you're coming from and all that. But I think it's really amazing to see, like, you are actually impacting people in a really good way, and it's really nice to see someone as young as you who is doing this, because I remember we had that conversation where you hope that there's more, like, the youth can play a bigger role in actually reaching out, talking about stuff related to mental health, or even talking like self-love, self-care, anything that can help to improve the community. And yeah, but what do you think, like, how can we as the younger generation actually contribute to helping to improve the community?
Uh, to be honest, I'm a big advocate of social media. I'm not like those typical Asian aunties that are like, oh, don't post this on Facebook. No, I suggest you have social media. I think
Mm-hmm.
social media is the best thing you can have in your life. Honestly, every single thing in our lives are affected by a post, by a like, by a share. So
Mm-hmm.
all I'm saying is that we have social media. We have
Mm-hmm.
this huge platform of um, you know uncountable amount of people and limitless followers, etc. Use that for a good purpose.
Mm-hmm.
So do what you're very passionate about, but make sure it reaches out to people. So for example, if you're very passionate about painting,
Mm-hmm.
start painting things and sharing with people. You never know, it could help someone, inspire them to start painting. It could even help your business if you want to
Mm-hmm.
sell off your paintings. So it's as simple as that. So rather than posting memes, it's okay to post memes. Just that try to use your social media for other things other than memes all the time. So that's what I truly believe in. I have I have a friend who is a huge lover of videos. Right, she loves
Mm-hmm.
making videos of people or places and all. But what she does is that she adds a twist in the sense that she makes those videos and she has like a bit of cartoonish characters in that video. So for example, if we're talking, all of a
Mm-hmm.
sudden I'm talking like a cartoon and then there's like bubbles flowing out of my head, those kind of things.
Uh,
And she loves doing that. She loves doing it. But she's an accountant by profession.
mm-hmm.
She's not loving her job, but she does this for peace of mind. She started doing this. I started posting on Facebook, started posting it on Twitter, on Instagram, and people started appreciating what she's doing. So much so that now so many agencies want to collaborate with her because she's
Wow.
done these kind of amazing things. And all it needed was a simple post on Instagram, a simple post on Facebook.
Mm.
Similarly, I had another friend in Pakistan that was going to get married and didn't want to get married but wanted to study. While her father told her, look, I can't afford your studies because we're poor, so you have to get married. She posted one status on Facebook telling how much she wants to study,
Mm.
how bad her situation is at home, and if people could be kind enough to pay some money for her education. And within a week, she had enough money to start doing what she wanted to do without
Wow.
without even asking from her parents. So I'm not saying that, tomorrow if I post a status, hey, anybody want to give me 1 million, I will get 1 million. No. All I'm saying is that there is a possibility for us to get what we want. We just need to
Mm.
use social media for that. So anything that people like our age want to do, you just have to make sure you use social media, something that you already have, to make that difference. So if you're
Mm.
very passionate about something, go all the way out for it. If you're very passionate about mental health, for example, start telling people that, hey, let's do these sessions every single week where me and you sit down and you tell me your issues. Or,
Mm-hmm.
okay, fine, if anybody wants to talk, I'm here to listen. You can come here, you can talk to me, those kind of things. So
Wow.
it's actually very easy for us to make a change. It's very easy. We just need to ensure that we truly want to and that we use the resources we have. A
Mm.
lot of people think that I need to make an impact only if I'm a minister, if I'm a
Mm.
politician, or if I'm a really like rich person, you can make an impact while you're a student. Why not?
Mm.
You can just lay down the things that you want to do, find the platforms that you can do those things, and go for it.
Mm.
That's what I did when I was in school. I mean, when I was in college. Everybody in my class was just studying, sleeping, partying, studying, sleeping, partying. But I told myself, I want to make a difference. So I'm going to join organizations. I'm going to join movements that I'm
Mm.
truly passionate about, political movements, mental health movements, diplomacy movements, all those things that I really, really want to. I
Mhm.
joined those and I make a difference from there. So that's what I started to do. So it's actually very um, possible for us to make a difference. We just need to recognize what we have. Social
Mm.
media is one of the greatest possessions that we have. We just have to use it well. That's
Mm.
all.
That's a very, very good advice. Like, um, when we talk about this, right, like we can use the platform that we have to actually communicate about awareness and all that. But do you think that maybe there is like we as the younger generation we feel like what we say is actually limited because what because of our age we may be young, maybe we don't have
Yeah,
professional qualifications. Do you think that could be like what's stopping us back from actually like fully like contributing back to the community?
yeah, yeah, definitely it is. I think I went through that. I'm sure you also went through it. Every one of us goes through a moment where all our relatives and our parents are very concerned about what we do. I'll give you a good example. When I started becoming very politically involved, my mother got so worried and she sat me down one day. She told me, you're doing something very scary. I can't sleep at night. I don't know what you're doing. What if you were put in jail? You're against this, you're against that. What if another person's not happy? So definitely we feel very, very inferior when it comes to doing great things because the older generation always emphasized on getting a good education, getting a good job, and then making that
Mm.
difference. But when we don't think that we can make that difference using social media, I
Mm.
don't think that we don't want to make a difference. We just don't know how, number one,
Mm.
and we don't have the support. I think,
Mm.
yeah, we don't have, especially in Malaysia, we don't have people backing up the young generation. We
Oh,
see a lot of people, yeah, sorry, Corinne, continue.
no, no, continue, continue.
We see a lot of people having that mentality that young people don't know anything, that uh, young people should not get involved in politics, should not get involved in this, in that. Then they're not giving us a chance, and that
Mm.
happens almost everywhere in the world. So we young people need to reclaim our position to get that chance. And how do we do that? Use social media. Use your clique of friends. I would every Friday sit with my group of friends and have a honest conversation about anything on our minds. So it could be about anything: mental health, LGBTQ rights, minority rights,
Mm.
sexual harassment, sexual education, all those things. Anything in our mind, we'll just talk about it for 1 hour, and then we'll all go back
Wow.
home. Yeah, we'll all go back home and forget everything about it. But that 1 hour had improved our understanding of what we're going through in life and how we
Mm.
can make a difference. I learned a lot from my friends listening from them.
That's
So
true.
I think we need to find people that can hold the youth power notion very closely and use that notion for whatever everything that we do. So
Mm.
companies and NGOs or um, organizations that believe in youth power, we should definitely get more involved in those organizations because they are giving us a platform.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. That's what all. That's the main thing we need. So yeah,
All right. That's really nice. Like, I wish I was in your group of friends to have that 1 hour conversation.
No,
Yeah.
I understand how it is because I also have groups of friends that I can have a proper conversation with. So you just need to find those kind of friends that are willing to talk about such things.
Mm. True. Like I had a conversation with a friend recently, and then we realized that we have a lot of friends. We have like acquaintances and all who we can mingle. We can talk about surface topics. But when you want to dive deep into like really deep topics like what you've mentioned, not everyone can are ready for it. Not everyone are courageous enough to actually have those kind of conversations. And yeah, like it's a very good realization lah. But I'm so glad you found friends who are willing to have these conversations with you lah. Like wow,
Yeah, it's not easy. I had to like dig and find them.
wow. But it's good, it's good, and I totally agree lah. We definitely need this kind of support lah. And I do agree that peers are the one that actually can give us the strongest support when it comes to
Yeah.
issues like this, because it's not every day we get the older generation supporting us, right? So yeah, we have to support each other lah. Like, I support
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. We really
Yeah.
need to, and most importantly, we need to encourage each other to do things that we want. I think in the Asian culture, I think it's not very encouraged for a person to think something different. Say tomorrow I tell you that, hey, I want to become the Prime Minister of Malaysia, and you look at me and be like, Archana, are you serious? Why? Why are you doing that to yourself? So there are a lot of people that do that. We don't see our friends' dreams as important, or if they are something worth chasing for. They're into that. Hey, no need lah. Come, we go out, we have a drink. So I feel that we want to make that change. We just need people to support us. We need that platform to continue pushing forward that dream that we have. And that's how we can reach wherever we want to reach.
Nice. Well, just to say, I'm one of your supporters, loyal supporters.
I'm your supporter as well. We got sister as well, both of you. I'm your supporter.
Aww, so nice. I feel it. My heart is so soft. Right. Okay, like okay. So let's sidetrack a little bit, and I will share something, and then we'll carry on from there, right? Okay. When I was 16, I personally experienced a brief moment of depression. About I think 6 months. Yeah, it was late. During the later months of when I was Form 4 till I was the early months of Form 5 before SPM. And so when it was a very dark phase, and I'm not afraid to actually talk about it, because I do believe that every one of us will go through a phase where it might be minor depression or you're stressed up and all that. We are all going to go through it in different phases in life. So there's really nothing to be ashamed about, right? And when I came out of it, it made me realize that, okay, if I can come out of it, I'm sure I can help people to come out of it as well. It's like whatever I've experienced, I know like, okay, what works, what doesn't work. Obviously, it's a personal experience, but it may help someone, right? So that's why I got into psychology, and that's actually my big purpose in life lah. I really want to help save people, like tell them that it's okay to be depressed. We all go through it, but you can always come out of it. You can always learn from it. You can always come out and be a better person. So that was my way of giving back to the community. That's why like my sister and I, we're very much into like helping and all that, because we went through this personal experience. So we're like, let's give back. So like for you, have you gone through anything personal, or have you had friends who have gone through something related to mental health where they were low and they came to you and you helped them, and from that you felt like, okay, it was a calling to you to actually give back? Did you ever experience that?
I did. Thank you so much for sharing. I think it's very brave of you to talk about this. So thank you so much. For me, okay, so when you see that I am a very, I'm a speaker, I'm very more of a stage outgoing person. I was never like this. When I was 13, throughout school, I was a very quiet person. I never made many friends. I used to uh, bunk school. I used to do terrible things. And more importantly, I wasn't that kind of person that believed in the importance of soft skills.
Mm-hmm.
I just sat in school because I just wanted to get my A's. That's all. But one incident that I think truly changed my life, and I really like to share this, was when I was 17, 1 month before SPM, one of my closest friends joined this debate competition, and she told me to join, uh, to just come with her, but I refused to because I wanted to pass my SPM. I wanted to get A's. So she went on and did the competition, and she ended up going to Germany at that time for
Mm-hmm.
the finals.
Wow.
And she won that competition, came back, sat for SPM, and did well, extremely well for it.
Wow.
Yeah, you know, right? I was so blown away. But for me, I studied my life out. I did exceptionally well, but I didn't do as well as her. And so when I looked back, I remember asking myself, I said, why did I say no to her at the first place?
Mm-hmm.
It was a good experience. It was something that I could learn, and it was something that I mean I could go to Germany, so why not, right? But I said no because I was afraid of failing my SPM. That fear was in me that, oh, I need to study, I can't do anything else. So
Mm-hmm.
ever since that happened, I asked myself, I said, what is the thing that you fear the most? So I took a paper and I started writing down things that I feared the most. Number one was talking on stage.
Mm-hmm.
That was number one. Because I was so afraid of what people would think of me. I had a lot of anxiety. I still do. I mean, at this, even now also, I suffer from so much anxiety. But that's number one. Number two was I had a lot of anxiety. Number three, if I'm not mistaken, was I was fearing of not being accepted, of not being liked by people. So those were the three things out of the many few I wrote. Those were the three main things that I was so afraid of. So I told myself, I'm going to try to move ahead from that fear. So the first time I did public speaking was when I was 18 in like a local public speaking competition in my college. I went on stage and I couldn't speak. I couldn't speak at all. I stood there for 5 minutes, tried my best, but I just couldn't. And then I walked away. And that day I went back home and I cried to myself and I told myself, why was I so afraid? It was because I realized that I'm afraid of talking on stage because it's all interconnected, you know, because I'm afraid people would not accept me, people would dislike me, plus my anxiety levels were disturbing me. So then I realized that the only way I face all these problems is to push myself out there and try my best to do what I really want. Now, I really want to speak on stage, but I can't because I'm afraid and I'm anxious. So I told myself, just go and do it. So it started off with the first one, it was terrible. Then my second public speaking, it was bad. Third one, not so bad. Fourth one, it was much better. Fifth one, sixth one. So it went up to almost 20 plus events that I've gone to and started speaking until I reached a point where I was slightly more comfortable speaking on stage. But even until today, you know, if you ask me, go on stage and speak, there is a small part of me that will be like, oh, okay. You know, I mean, that's something you can't really run away from.
Yeah.
So that is what I went through. I was very, very anxious growing up. I still am very anxious. I still, when I walk into a room, I take a quick glance and my heart rate starts beating a bit fast. I still feel a bit anxious when I walk into a room. Everybody turns to look at me a little bit anxious, but I know that I can overcome it. So that's my experience with dealing with issues that I have. I mean, we all have uncountable amount of issues. I think the first step is to definitely recognize them. Just like what you said, that you went through depression and you knew, okay, this is what I went through. I don't want anyone else to go through it. And that's why you are giving back to society. As for me, I realized that stage fright is something so normal with everyone. And I experienced that growing up. So I want to encourage people to go on stage and talk. And it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to be laughed upon. It's okay for people to embarrass you. It's okay. I went through it. You can go through it as well. So that's what I keep telling myself, and it's just, I think it's a journey that we all go through to reach that point. I don't think we can ever reach a point where, like for me, I don't think I ever reach a point where I'm never anxious, or even for you to reach a point where you're completely free from depression. Some of it still lingers here and there, but that's what keeps us moving to help others. So for me, I believe that it's my duty to help others see that public speaking is not so bad, that leadership is so important, that mental health is so important, and we need to keep pushing ourselves for that. That's what I believe in.
It's a really, really, really good sharing. And fun fact, I'm also like, I get anxious when I go on stage, or even if I speak in front of the camera. So what you really said, I feel like, okay, like it'll be okay.
Yeah, I mean, for you to feel anxious and still speak on camera, that itself is so courageous. So we need to remember that we beat ourselves so much that, for example, me and you, we feel that, okay, if I should not have anxiety, I should not be anxious at all. That means you tell me like, hey, go meet the Prime Minister of Malaysia right now. There's not even a little bit of anxiety in our hearts. No, we can never reach that point. And what I always remind myself is every great public speaker was anxious at the beginning. Every single person that we have known, leaders, literally big leaders, Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King, even people like Mahathir, Dr. Mahathir, he also, when he started speaking, it's not that he spoke so easily and everything flew out. No, he definitely was scared. He definitely was anxious. So we shouldn't beat ourselves up so much. Give ourselves the space and the time to grow. So, I mean, you doing this itself is so courageous, honestly. It's amazing.
Role model?
Yeah.
Nice.
But it's really nice to hear that you and your sister are both really giving back to society. I mean, people our age don't think of this. They don't want to. Well, I mean, like, people be like, why should I do extra work? You already have college, you already have this, you have family, you have friends. Why would you do something like that, right? So you guys are really doing amazing.
Thank you.
Doing really well. So I'm so glad I'm a part of this.
Thank you. I'm so happy. Okay. Wait, let me just see the questions. I think we have covered almost all. But okay. Okay, we have two more questions. This one I really like. If a friend, someone around your age, the younger generation, approaches you and they express to you that, hey Archana, I'm having a bit of a difficulty. I feel anxious, or I think I'm having depression and all that. How can you help them? How can you give back to them?
So what I started doing was, when I started working about a year ago, I started having this concept of wearing a safety pin. So I'll wear a safety pin on my shirt every day to work. And my boss and people used to ask me, why are you wearing a safety pin outside? Is your clothes torn every single day? And I'm like, no, I'm wearing a safety pin so that people will recognize, and they would ask me, like you are asking me now, why are you wearing a safety pin? And they asked me that, okay, fine, then why are you wearing it? I said, it's because I want you to know that whatever you tell me is safely kept with me. So whatever you share, it can be any problem at all. Anything that you go through. I'm not going to give you advice. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm just going to sit and listen to you. So that's what I started doing, because I felt that it doesn't put pressure on people to start speaking. That's a mistake that I used to do. You know, for example, if you come and tell me, oh, Archana, I'm so stressed, I'll be like, okay, tell me everything now. You might not feel like sharing. And I don't give you that space to decide. So what I started doing was, I started wearing that safety pin. So that if you want to tell me anything, just feel free. I'm not going to pressure you. I'm not going to ask you. You just see the safety pin, you know, okay, you know what, I should just tell Archana everything. So that's one thing I started to do. But I realized that that was one. But another area was when people start to tell me their problems. I feel that I became a fixer. Like I wore my, you know, fix cap.
Yeah.
And I was like, Bob the Builder, can we fix it? You know, I became like that. You know, so yeah, so I started telling people that, hey, I think you should do this, I think you should do that, which is not good because you can never truly understand what the other person is going through. So I started to make a mental health first aid kit. So this mental health first aid kit is an idea that I got in college because I saw a first aid kit and I was just sitting one day in the cafeteria just looking at the first aid kit and I was like, it would be nice if we have a mental health first aid kit, right? And I got that idea. So this like a small box that I have in my bag, and I wish I could show you now, but my bag's like in the other room. But so it's basically like a small box where you have various things inside that can help someone feel a bit more inspired and a bit more energetic. And it's subjective to each and every person because everyone has their own way of handling their problems. So for me, one of it was poems. So I like poems a lot. I write them, I also listen, I also read them. So I started writing poems and started keeping in that box. And then I started taking pictures of me with my friends or me at my happy place. I kept it in that box. And then I kept like sweets, some sweets and just some beautiful quotes that I found. Which I find it really helps me. I keep that in that box. And then I also have a small little like a jar where it's all affirmative things written in it. So this is simple things like you look amazing today, or I'm so glad you're alive today. Those kind of things. I just kept it in the jar so that whenever I feel so stressed, I feel like I cannot go through the day, I open that box. The first thing I pick up, I read that, I feel so much better. And sometimes it's like handmade letters that I made my friends write, force them to write to me. And I kept them in those boxes. And yeah, so I think this is something that I have done and that I'm sharing, but we all have our ways of helping people that we know. I know some people who are very good listeners, like they believe in letting the person talk and absorbing whatever they say without giving any solutions. I find it so difficult to do because I'm always on my fix-it cap. So I realized that for me, it's just to have the mental health first aid kit and start showing it to people. So I started bringing that to work. I started bringing it to my friends. So when my friends tell me, "Hey Archana, I feel so stressed, I feel so pressured," I'm like, "You want to open the box?" So that's what I used to do, and I hope that whoever is listening to this, do something that you can within your resources to make a difference. Like for example, you're doing amazing for even doing this video itself. No bullshit, nothing. And I hope this makes a difference. That kind of thing is really pushing it out to everyone. So we all have different ways of doing it. You just need to figure out what way we can do it best.
That's really great, man. Like, okay, this is the first time I actually like come across someone who uses a safety pin, and I find the idea of having a mental health first aid kit is so interesting. I think I'm gonna propose this to the faculty in my university to actually have this, because
Yeah.
it
Oh,
like,
that's
it's like
amazing.
a little box of happiness that you carry around, right? It's just to remind
Yeah,
you like,
because
hey,
I mean
life
we
is
have
okay.
we have a physical first aid kit, so why don't we have one for mental health as well? I mean, it's equally important, it's equally serious. And for the safety pin, I actually wanted to put like a Mickey Mouse. So I said, okay, you know what, I use a safety pin, it's better that way.
But it's I'm 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 actually like mind blown. Like I'm so inspired. Like, you know, like how just a simple safety pin can mean so much to someone. You know, like,
Yeah.
I'm mind blown. Like,
I'm glad.
wow. I think like this, you know, throughout like all the conversations that I've been having, this is one that really like, you know, it impacted me. I feel like, wow, it's really great whatever you're
Yeah.
doing. Like,
Thank you so much.
yeah.
I just feel it would help people um, start talking about such things, and also to start actually having such conversations, because nobody would ever come up to you and be like, hey, can I tell you my problem? You know, like, can I start sharing everything with you? No, nobody would do that until they are very convinced that whatever they're telling you is going to be kept a secret and that you are willing to listen. So I felt the best way for me to show that without saying a word is wearing a safety pin.
This is amazing. I hope like the viewers who are watching this, they will actually maybe start, maybe not a safety pin, maybe it can be a mug that says like, I'm here for
Yeah.
you or something, right?
Suddenly all of us are wearing safety pins. They'll be like, why is it that
Archana, you're a trendsetter.
why is group of people wearing a safety pin?
It's, you know, I think I might just start wearing one when I go back to uni. It has amazing meaning lah behind it. Like, I'm so
And
glad I asked you this question.
your parents might be thinking, why is her clothes always torn every day?
That's like, it's not me, it's Archana. You can ask her.
That's it, I'm gonna get
Nice.
calls from your parents lah. Aiyo.
Yeah. Okay. Like, okay. So with everything that we have shared, right? It's really nice. I really enjoyed the conversation. It's so deep. I've learned so much, and I don't think so I'll ever get over of the safety pin. Maybe like 10 years from now, also I'll be like, hey, Archana, remember the safety pin now? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this leads us to actually the final question, and it's the biggest question, because what we are doing right now with Coffee with Friends, with our theme for World Mental Health Day in the Minda Club, is basically about being human. So we have asked a few of our speakers like, what does being human mean to you? And they have given us like very powerful answers. So now I really want to know, like, from your own personal opinion, what does being human mean to you?
I think being human for me in one word is, or maybe two words, is being vulnerable. Because we as humans are so used to always letting people know that we are okay, and it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to not be okay and still try to make someone else okay. We need to know that it doesn't mean that if you, for example, if you ever decide to become a psychologist, doesn't mean that you are not supposed to go through any problems yourself. You will go through it, but you're still taking that step to help others. So I think being human is just being so vulnerable that you show the raw self, your raw self, to someone. and that person loving and accepting you for it. That's our essence of being human. Because there's this beautiful quote by I think Mary Lau. She was a very old poet, 18th century poet. She says, "No one can ever hate you after hearing your story," and that's so true. Because I may hate you at first. I may be like, "Oh my God, Kavina, oh, what the hell? No, I don't want." Maybe at first. But after I hear your story, I'm like, "Wow, man, she's like this because of what she went through." And we can never hate someone once we hear their stories. That applies to everyone that we see. Criminals, people that have done the most disgusting of crimes. If you hear that story, I wouldn't say that you'll be able to forgive them. But you'll be able to understand why they did what they did. So being vulnerable is the easiest thing we can do. It's easiest thing, to be honest. It's just that it is the most painful thing that we can do. If we become vulnerable, we are afraid that the other person might leave us. We're afraid of people judging us, and that's why we don't become vulnerable. If someone asks you today, "Hey Kavina, how are you?" You're like, "I'm fine." What? But you're not fine. Why? You don't want them to know. You don't want them to judge you. So we just have to start being vulnerable and letting people know that, hey, I'm not okay, but I'm here to make you okay. So yeah.
Wow. Okay, I'm actually getting a bit teary because that hit me lah. Your definition of being human, because to be very honest, like I 100% resonated with what you just shared, because I do if people who are following me on Instagram, they know that I'm very much like, the positive person. I share a lot of positive stuff and all that, right? But there's also another part of me where I do also experience negative emotions. It's normal. We are all human being, right?
Yeah.
So we are allowed to feel these emotions. But I just, a few days ago, I came to realize that I'm the kind of person that doesn't express about negative emotions, because I'm so afraid, so afraid what people would see me in a different lens.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm still working on it lah. Like I believe like that realization was the first step towards trying to work on myself and all that. And even today, I had an experience where I expressed. It was a very brief moment of me expressing, and then my sister said, "You should express more," and then I actually cried because it's difficult. It's difficult for me to express, but I really resonated with what you just said. Like, being human is about being vulnerable, knowing that it's okay to be like that.
Yeah.
It's okay to show the darker side of things. Life is not always so like so positive and all. You're gonna go through tough times, and I don't know. What a coincidence! Your definition of being human just like.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely not a coincidence. It's like maybe destiny. I think I like to add one thing. We as humans, I think we are so upset with being upset. We don't like being upset, and that's something that has been embedded in us since we were born. When a child, right, cries and asks for chocolate, you won't explain to the child that no, chocolate's bad for you, you shouldn't have chocolate, and explain. You'll be like, "Stop crying, you're no more a baby now, stop crying." And even as adults, right, if we do get sad, we don't really let ourselves absorb that sadness. We immediately start giving reasons to be happy. Like, for example, me, when I'm sad, I'll just force myself to listen to happy music. But I'm like, I'm not supposed to be sad. Why am I sad? Let me be happy. So I think that's wrong. And that's something I've realized as I've grown older. You have to allow yourself to be sad. just like how you experience happiness, that joy, that fulfillment, that you experience happiness with so much energy. Why is it that when it's sadness, you give it maybe 1% or 2% of the energy? I try every day. This is very weird, but I try every day to at least give myself 1 hour to cry. And sometimes I don't force myself to cry, but I actually purposely sit and think and cry. Because if I can give myself 1 hour every day to be happy, why can't I give myself 1 hour every day to be sad and cry it out? We are so used to telling each other that I know you're sad, but cheer up, it's okay, be happy. I don't think that's right. I think what we should chase is not for true happiness, but it's for peace and fulfillment. The amount of peace you experience when you're happy should be the same amount of peace you experience when you're sad. It's as if that you are sitting at an area and a really sexy and amazing car passes by, and you're like, wow. That same amount of excitement you should have when an old and dull car passes by. We are so pushed towards like, you have to be happy, you have to be happy, you have to be happy. No, you have to be fulfilled. You have to be at peace. Experience the happiness and sadness together. And so that's what I try to tell myself, that it's okay to cry. Actually, good if you're crying. 1 hour a day, try it out. Because if you can give 1 hour for happiness, you should give 1 hour for sadness as well. It's another emotion of being human. So that energy, just if you're sad, sit and be sad. But that being said, take that step forward and try to be happy. It's like this, when you're trying to, for example, you're going to play at the beach, right? You cannot be the kind of person who'll be like, oh, I'm not going to go in the beach because I don't want to wash my hair. Right? But have that mentality to, no, I'll go to the beach, have so much of fun, and then use that much of fun and energy to wash my hair. Experience it both. We are not jumping into the beach because we don't want to wash our hair later. So that's why we don't go into it. No. You have to be sad. You have to go through that pain, but always take that next step. And that's something I've seen with great people. Monks that I have met and asked questions like this. Monks that I have seen in my life that openly tell me that it's okay to be sad. The true meaning or purpose of life is not to chase after happiness. It's to be present and peaceful during all your emotions. So I think it's good that, we cry it out. I think it's very good for us to feel and experience pain. But to always remember that it's not wrong. It's not wrong to cry it out.
That's a very good lesson. Like, whew. Yeah, I think after this, I'm going to do a lot of reflecting about our conversation because, it's so deep. Thank you so much for the advice.
Thank you so much. I've learned a lot from you.
Oh, that's nice. When you mentioned about reset, right? Actually, in the Minda Club and the LOA Center, we created an app called the Reset app. My brother developed it, and it has the same concept. Recognize when you're actually feeling any negative emotion. Recognize it. Okay, feel how is it feeling? Is it like it's painful where in your heart or in the stomach or wherever? But then deliberately reset it to move forward. Like just what you said, it's okay to feel sad, it's okay to feel negative emotions, but reset it and take the step to actually be happy. And it's really nice lah. And so I feel a bit peaceful right now hearing this from you. And I think after reflecting, I'll be able to have a good night's sleep tonight. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Nina. Thank you so much. I had so much of fun. It was really nice, speaking to you about these things and for even being here. So thank you. I hope you continue doing this. It's really amazing though, so don't stop.
Thank you so much. My sister and I, we actually plan to have more seasons because season one is actually coming to an end of September.
That's so nice.
So we're looking forward to have more seasons, and you're definitely a guest that we will call again. Like, definitely, because I believe
Thank you so much.
um, there's so much to learn from you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Nice. Okay, so that's basically we have come to the end of our conversation, and it's been such an amazing conversation. I can't wait for the video to be viewed by everyone else, and I'm just so grateful. Like, you know, when you're so grateful and all that, sometimes you can't find the right words to express it. Right now, I'm
Yeah.
feeling it. Yeah,
Alright,
yeah.
thank you
If
so much.
thank you, Archana, for making the time. I know it's like really late at night. Like, yeah, thank
No,
you.
I'm really happy with this, and I like to just add one thing. There are very few people in the world right now that want to make a difference, and you and your sister are definitely one of those that I can definitely see have that spark. So I hope you both continue doing this. You inspire me. I'm sure you inspire many others as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Oh my god. I believe my sister is like getting really emotional at the back right now. Thank you so much,
Okay.
Archana. Like, you have really you have really transformed my life. I've seen you grow so much, and I really do hope if I can even be 1% like you, like your qualities, like it'll be amazing. And
Oh no,
I have a
you
lot
praise
to
me
learn
too
from
much.
you. No, this is honestly, I've always wanted to tell this to you, but I'm like so glad I can tell it face to face. Yeah, like I do hope I can meet you in person, and if I can say this, it's like I do believe that you will become a very good mentor for me to be a better person in life, to be a better human being. And I'm looking forward to have more conversations with you in the future.
Definitely, we should. We really should. And I should
Yeah.
definitely join your movements of being fit and being healthy and fit. That's what I badly need. So.
We welcome you. My sister's ever ready. She's like ready to train you already.
Thank you
Nice.
so much. Thank you so much, both of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Archana. So to our viewers, we will share all of Archana's social media links below. So you guys feel free to keep in touch with her, communicate with her, because like I'm pretty sure by the end of this conversation, you guys will have been really inspired, really mind blown with what she has to say, and I believe she also has that spark to make a difference in the world. I really believe it, and yeah, if you guys really like this video, do give it a thumbs up, and please also share your comments with us. You can personally text us anywhere on our social media or even in YouTube. We would love to hear what you have learned from this session, and do reach out to us if you have any interesting stories. We would like to hear about them. Until then, take care everyone, and we'll see you guys soon. So bye!